Did you know that an army of just 300 men once defeated a force of over 100,000? This is not legend or myth. This is the story of Gideon. Israel was in despair. For 7 years, the Midianites had invaded their land, stealing their crops, destroying their homes, and leaving them to starve. The people cried out to God for help, and God answered by calling a man named Gideon. But Gideon was not a mighty warrior. When the angel of the Lord appeared to him, Gideon was hiding, threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from being stolen. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior," the angel said. But Gideon was filled with doubt. "How can I save Israel?" he asked. "My clan is the weakest, and I am the least in my family." The angel replied, "Go in the strength you have. I will be with you." Gideon obeyed. He gathered an army of 32,000 men. But God had a plan to show Israel that victory would come not by their strength, but by his power. "You have too many men," God said. "Tell anyone who is afraid to go home." Gideon obeyed, and 22,000 men left. Only 10,000 remained. But God said again, "There are still too many." God told Gideon to take the men to the water. Those who lapped the water like dogs were chosen. The rest were sent home. Only 300 remained. With just 300 men against an army as numerous as the sands on the seashore, God gave Gideon an unusual battle plan. No swords, no shields, just trumpets, torches, and clay jars. Under the cover of night, Gideon divided his men into 3 groups. They surrounded the enemy camp. At Gideon's signal, the men blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, and raised their torches high, shouting, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" The Midianites were thrown into confusion. Believing they were under attack by a massive army, they turned on each other and fled. With God's help, Gideon and his 300 men achieved the impossible, not by their strength, but by their faith and obedience. The story of Gideon reminds us, God doesn't call the strongest or the most qualified. He calls the willing, and through them, he does the impossible. When the odds are against you, remember, it's not about the size of your army, it's about the size of your faith.